All right. Now, George and I are doing we're going to do this thing. We actually came across these articles a few months back in the sport news, and they were very interesting.
Whoa, in a what?
Huh?
No, we just found these articles.
Okay, yeah. Well, George says, we just found. But today,
and we're going to bring them to you.
We're going to bring them to you. But first, we want you guys to go over to uncutsports.com and subscribe. Do I like fucking horror cells out or what? But the first thing we're going to talk about, we're talking about the greatest college football team of all time, and we're talking about for an individual year. For example, the 1987 Miami Hurricanes.
They were 12-0 and won the national title.
Yeah, now, they were led by Jimmy Johnson. Mm-hmm.
This takes us to which at the end, Kevin and I are going to give you what the teams we picked and why.
And we want everybody to kind of chime in and think, who do you think was the greatest college football team
you know what? If we don't say them here, let us know.
Yeah, we're going to just give you examples of a few of them that have been always talked about over the years. And we're going back a ways. We're not just going back to a lot. Believe me, we're going back before George and I were born, based on AP polls and shit like that.
George wasn't born all that long ago. Dinosaur? That's a different story.
You ain't shit,
The second team on this list, who you'll see at the end, who I think is number one, is the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. Again, undefeated, won national title.
That team outscored their opponents 512 to 100.
Why are you doing that? No, I'm going to save it for the end. We're just trying to get through these and tell the folks. Yes, damn shit.
Next team we got 1961 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Good Google. Now, here's a team, if any of y'all can name the starting quarterback on, y'all know yo shit without going to Google or Wikipedia. 1945 Army.
Yes, I can't name it.
Nope.
But they did have a squad.
Yes.
Also, the 1968 Ohio State Buckeyes had a nasty squad. Yes.
1956 Oklahoma Boomer Sooners.
Yes. The 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Those boys were nasty. 1974 Oklahoma Boomer Sooners.
The 1972 USC Trojans.
And that leads us to the 1971 Nebraska Cornhuskers. I can't, dude, come on, man. That's 1971.
71. That shit.
Now, looking at this list, is the team that you think is the best college team ever on this list?
Absolutely.
Okay. What is the criteria you have come to in your own mind? This is what makes this topic good, because we're all going to see this in different shades of different colors.
I'm going to tell you why. Everybody, I'm often asked the question why I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker fan. And it was because of this team being a boy, being
there wasn't any cotton there, was there?
No, not at all. And the 1971 Nebraska Cornhuskers, who went 13-0 and national champions, obviously that year. I remember being a kid and watching them and just thinking every day on Saturday mornings, watching them blow out teams 52-0, and I was just like, as a kid, I was like, they're the best, they're incredible, they're unstoppable, and that stuck with me, and that's how I originally became a Nebraska Cornhusker, watching those games with my father when I was a little boy.
Wasn't your granddad?
It was my granddad.
I know his grandma was there.
They scored 39 points a game, and they averaged 8, allowing 8.
Wow.
It was basically the team that made the black shirt defense that created that name. They had a school record 437 yards on offense per game. 437 fucking yards.
And you got to remember, in that day, that was running. There was very little passing back in the 70s.
Yeah, and
unless they were passing a bong.
Yeah, and I think their average margin of victory was like 31 points at home or something. It was crazy. They just dominated everything. I mean, they beat at the time they beat the nation's number 2 ranked what does it say here? The number 2 ranked team twice in their final 3 games.
That's impressive.
Yeah. They just, to me, they were just like phenomenal. And I know, everybody out there has their favorite team they can recall and stuff like this. I know a lot of people are going to agree with you on this team because of what they did. Now, go ahead.
Now, for me, it would be the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. for me, when I look at this and you tell me who's produced great college football teams, I automatically think, well, all right, well, how many pros did they produce? You don't even have to be a good pro, but just to be drafted and to be brought into the NFL, that should say enough about you. Gino Torretta made it to the NFL because of what he did at Miami. I mean, that's things like that. Yeah. With that said, I mean, this team outscored their opponents this season 512 to 117. So they were doing it on both sides of the ball. And, I mean, they were up on Nebraska 34. But to me, the most impressive stat that you can look at here is 17 future first-round picks. Done.
That shit's crazy. Yeah.
Done.
They had that team.
Shit.
Yeah. They had a lot of fuckers that went into the NFL. Now, what we're going to do is, I mean, we named, some of the greatest teams that people over the years have considered the greatest college football team. We want to see what you guys think is the greatest college football team. Why? What's your argument? Get on the comment board and start lashing out, battle with each other, and do whatever the hell you want to. And get back with me and George. On that note, we're out, man.
Oh,
yeah, what?
And for anyone who's watching this, and I'm sure no one watches it, but the debut of the Uncut Truth will be this Friday. March 30th. It'll be an intro video. I'm sure none of you will even know it, but if you do want to see it and you want to see all the latest videos that I'm going to put out under my
that shit gonna be crazy, son. Oh,
you need to go to it and join up on our Facebook page because I'm going to post them there first. The first come, first serve. That's where they're going to go up. I'm going to try to get out at least once a week with some kind of creative topic. If you have a topic you'd like to hear my 2 cents on, let me know because as you know, either you love me or you hate me. There's very few people who are going to be in the middle. But with that said, have a blessed evening.
Yes.
Timmy.
See ya.